This actually came up yesterday during a press conference, and questions about the new concealed carry permit law, which were raised to Erie County Sheriff John Garcia, who is a Republican. He criticized the new law, saying it was, quote, unconstitutional and unenforceable, and that law enforcement, including county sheriffs across the state, should have been consulted before it was drawn up and approved by the governor and lawmakers. So during the press conference, one point that the sheriff specifically raised was calls he said his office was taking in regards to the new law and its impact on religious services. He said some people who attend services told him they were being counted on by a pastor, priest, or rabbi to help provide security. So then they have a specific question based on the state's website there, which now mentions criminal possession of a firearm in specifically designated sensitive locations, including any place of worship or religious observation.
Those people are wondering what's going to happen. Am I committing a felony now for bringing in a legal concealed carry permit and weapon into a house of worship?
Well, I've reached out to various church leaders and institutions in the area, and while all so far declined an on-camera interview or have not yet responded, several told me as sources they do indeed depend upon members of their congregation to carry weapons if they choose to do so in the church or synagogue. And that while the state does make exemptions for certified security hired by churches or for off-duty law enforcement or military, a minister said some of those who carry concealed permits are strictly civilians, like small businessmen and women and other professionals and church members. One clergy member even referred to the 514 top shooting and said they would not be, quote, sitting targets for another mass shooting where people of color congregate. Now, I did reach out to the governor's office, who through the state's Department of Criminal Justice said, quote, houses of worship in New York have always been able to work with law enforcement, security guards, and other certified armed personnel to keep their communities safe. And under the new concealed carry law, that will continue to be the case. That answer does not specifically refer to civilians, which was what I requested. But on background, they do say there are exemptions, and places of worship are able to decide if any worshipers are permitted to carry a concealed weapon during services. That seems to run contrary to the website language. And we're going to have more on this issue, including comments of a local lawmaker who voted for that new law, coming up at 6. Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.